morning, everyone. I had an interesting evening yesterday. Holy smoke. So we are on Highway 3 westbound, just climbing out of Rock Creek here. So yesterday, all those bales, the farmer had two different locations he wanted them unloaded. So I pulled in, and both of them were unloading from the paved street. He literally took his tractor bucket and just pushed the stuff off. But because of that, I needed to get my tarps off the top. So we pulled into the first location there, put my four-way flashers on. He's got no lights on his tractor, and it's starting to get dark. So I got him to give me, put the bucket like halfway up the load so I could use this bucket as a stepping stone to get to the top. So I dropped my tarps onto my fenders in between the two trailers. And one of my tarps took a funny bounce and broke the glad hand clean off. A glad hand is the fitting that connects your air supply from the front trailer to the rear trailer. Well, there's a lot of glad hands on the truck. I'm not sure why they're called glad hands, but it's basically a fitting that connects the air hoses together. Broke it clean off. I never thought of carrying spare glad hands in the truck. I think I will now. Next chance I have, I'll pick up some extra glad hands. So broke the red one right off, and that's the one that supplies the trailer with air, which means the trailer brakes lock up and that trailer is not movable. So we finished pushing off the bales that he wanted at the first location. And I'm like trying to call and see if there's any way of getting a spare glad hand. Eventually I have the eureka moment of there's a red glad hand and a blue glad hand. The red one is the air supply that supplies air, which releases all the brakes on the trailers, supplies all the air tanks, all the air supply is the red. It's a way of getting the air from the compressor on the front of the truck to the rear of the trailer. The blue line is, I'm not even sure what to exactly call it now, but basically the only time the blue line has air in it is when I hit the brakes. It sends a signal, it's an air signal to the rear to apply brakes and how hard to apply the brakes. Basically, as I'm pushing the brakes down, it's increasing the air pressure in the blue line, which in hand is putting that much more pressure on the brakes. So I had the aha moment. I'm going to unscrew the blue hose, or the blue glad hand, and screw it into the red one, and put the red hose onto the blue one, and sure enough, it releases all of my brakes. This now means I have 0 brakes on the rear trailer. This trailer is illegal to be on the road. But at least the brakes are released and I can move to his second location to unload. Just around the corner. Still in the same yard, just around the corner there. So I'm like, okay, let's drive around the corner. And as I make the corner, trailer brakes lock up. And it's like, what? What now? What I didn't realize is the farmer had moved my tarps back between my trailers, right where the air hoses are. I made the turn, and with all the tarps in there, squished that corner and broke the blue glad hand clean off. Now I've got two broken glad hands. So I went to the front trailer, removed the blue glad hand from the front trailer and moved it to the back to release the brakes. Now neither the front trailer or the rear trailer have any brakes at all. The only thing that has brakes now is the tractor. The trailers have no brakes. Zero. So I released all the brakes, went around the corner, finished unloading, and then there's a little pullout over there nearby, like a couple 100 feet away. Drove to that pullout and parked it for the night. Like, I'm not going anywhere. So my plan was to drop the trailers there and bobtail to Lordcore or something like that in the morning and get some new glad hands. Because I'm not driving down no road with no brakes. Not only is that super illegal, it just seems like a stupid thing to do. So in the morning, my dispatch called and said, hey, there's actually a mechanic. He's a really grumpy old man just down the street called Kettle River Mechanics. It's like 5 houses down. So I put forward flashers on and just idled the truck up to mechanic shop. Walked in, dispatch did warn me he's a grumpy guy. Walked in and he goes, nope, don't have time for you. Gonna have to go to OK Tire. I'm like, you don't have to do any work on my trailer. All I'm asking is for two glad hands, one blue and one red. Kind of looks at me and goes, yeah, I might have some of those. Goes to the back and finds two of them and gives them to me. And I moved the blue glad hand back to the front trailer and attached the two new ones to the back trailers. And pretty good to go. Got loaded. And now I'm back on the highway with brakes. So, as soon as I have a chance, I'm going to sign out a couple of extra glad hand. Because apparently, they can brake. Well, note to self: don't drop tarps in the center of the trailer in the future. If they bounce wrong, they can break stuff. They are pretty heavy, so. I don't know, they're probably 50 pounds each. There's 4 of them. So I thought I was going to have a bunch of hours off last night. Nah, it took such a long time to. It took me about 10 minutes before I had the aha moment of, wait a minute, I can move those glad hands. Switch them so that they're in the wrong connection, but they're color-coded. They're color-coded wrong, but so what? At least it works. I could move. I'm not stuck on the road overnight. Yeah, I carry air fittings, so if I have an air leak, I can just cut the hose and put an air fitting in there and fix that, but I hadn't thought of carrying glad hands. Also carry spare little lights. few other little things I carry, and of course tools, just basic tools. Hose clamps, those are always good. Fan belt. And of course, I always carry 2 jugs of coolant, 2 jugs of motor oil, some methyl hydrate, 5th wheel grease. I don't mind working on my own trailer. There's guys that would have just parked it right there on the road and refused to move, and the company would have forgot how to get a tow truck to come out and fix it for them on the road because they don't get paid for that. Like, no, I don't get paid for that, but I would have sat there for 3 or 4 hours waiting for a tow truck to come and fix it. Meanwhile, it took me a few minutes to do it. Yeah, he was a grumpy guy, but he's apparently a really, really good mechanic. Knows his wrenches. Not a people person, though. Those brake lines look like probably downhill. His ABS was kicking in. He came down too fast and was forced to start passing, and maybe there's oncoming traffic and he had to lock up his brakes. I don't know. So we're going to a new place in Seattle. I thought we would go to Tacoma, Washington with a load like this, but apparently it's right smack dab in the middle of Seattle. I think it's called Harbor Island. And looking on Google Maps, that looks like it's a heck of a complicated yard. Apparently they run 24/7 there. So I'll get there probably around 6:30, maybe even 7. And with them running 24 hours, I should be able to get unloaded tonight if I can find the place. The directions are pretty complicated. Once I get to the I-5, because I'm going to take 90, we're on Highway 3 now, so we're going to take 97 south all the way to I-90. Stay on I-90 all the way to I-5. South on I-5, we're going to have to take West Seattle Bridge Road, which then goes into South Spokane Street, and then that turns into Southwest Spokane Street, and then we gotta turn on to Clickitate Avenue, and then on to 16th Avenue Southwest, and then one of those exits to the left. I'm thinking once I get all the way to the north end and start turning, probably the second exit there. So it's going to be pay attention to roads and GPS during a busy time of day. how to get into there. Place is called Vigor Shipyard. Vigor Shipyard. On Harbor Island. Oh, look at those mountains right there. That's always such a beautiful view as you come up over the hill. Anarchist Summit. See these huge mountains in the background. Now we go down, down, down into the valley. I'm pretty low on fuel, but I did the math. I should be able to make it all the way. I'm almost there, so I know I'll make it all the way. I'm like, if I can fuel up in a Soyuz, I'm almost at a DEF too. I'm surprised the little light hasn't come on yet. Like, if I can make it to a Soyuz and fuel up here, I've been lucky. Sometimes I can run all the way to Seattle, down to Portland, Oregon, and then back all the way into Canada without fueling up. A lot of conditions there on how heavy the load is coming back up and the wind and stuff like that, but I have done it once. But if I fuel up over here, that's at least I only have to fuel up once in the US. Of course, it is a tarp load. I'm not sure why. They're 15 big bags filled with steel shot. And big bags, I mean the size of bag that fits onto one pallet. Big square cubes of bags. They're heavy enough that I need two straps to hold down, or one strap per bag, but because they're two bags side by side, I need two straps side by side to hold down the bags legally. Those bags are so heavy, they're not moving. I could drive down the highway with no straps at all and they would stay right where they are. Are you gonna pass me here? You realize there's oncoming traffic. You freaking idiot. What a freaking idiot. Unbelievable. Like they were blind to the oncoming traffic. What the heck? Idiots. Just idiots. Suicidal. Just for the record, did have my feet on the brakes. I was not pulling over onto the shoulder. I've learned my lesson there. The last time I did that, I rolled the truck. Maintain my lane and slow down. Luckily, the other guy was slowing down and he pulled onto the shoulder, which I wasn't going to do. We both slowed down, so what an idiot. kept thinking he was going to bail out and hit the brakes, so I wasn't on the brakes super hard. I'm like, I don't want to brake hard, him hit the brakes at the same time, and then we're really in trouble. So I'll slow down. Yeah. He's going to get a Darwin award with that kind of driving. Raven Hill Road. On the right hand side, you guys are going to see a huge raven statue. I think you can see it. Right there on the big rock. Big raven. Next one I think is a caribou. And if I remember, it'll be on the right hand side. Could be wrong, I can't remember. He's on the left-hand side. Oh, I guess they were both on the right-hand side. Oh, we got left and right-hand side. So caribou on the left-hand side. On the right side, it's a wapiti. I don't know how to pronounce it. And the next one is my favorite. The right-hand side again. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's behind the tree right now. Oh, he's right in here. Sasquatch. Next one will be on the left-hand side, and then it'll be an eagle. There he is, an eagle. Alright guys, I have to go do a brake check here, so I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.